Ok, vamos al siguiente video. El último que hicimos fue poder interactuar con letreros, diálogos. Entonces, lo que hicimos fue justamente lo siguiente. Bueno, antes de empezar, vamos a poner nuevamente cuando empecemos a trabajar. Entonces, lo que hicimos fue justamente esto. Lo teníamos aquí, cambiábamos aquí y estamos aquí enfrente del letrero y le damos spacebar, peligro, y iremos adelante. Aquí le damos spacebar, aquí, listo. A probar de arriba, ahí está. Qué cool. Pues sí, entonces, peligro. Ok, lo que vamos a ver hoy va a ser animación de ataques. Así que vamos a empezar con este video y play.
Hey there, welcome back. So here's where we left off. We have our little project here. Last thing we did was added some signs. If you're within the range of the sign and you press a button, you get a little dialogue. If you walk out of the range, you lose the dialogue, and if you press the button again, dialogue also goes away. So we've added most of the basics that aren't combat so far. You could even use what we did for signs in order to make like a little NPC. So let's get started on adding some attack animations here. So the very first thing is I have modified the included attack animation set a little bit, and I'll include a link to that in the description. Let me show you what it looks like. The regular version has a very, very small sword, and I made it bigger, and I still feel like it's too short. I still feel like I could make it, you know, even like 3 or 4 pixels bigger. Just because the way it is right now, especially like if you're walking upwards, you don't really get the feeling that you have very much of an attack range. So I might modify that still again, but then if I do, we can just replace the sprites and it'll be really fast, so long as we have the architecture in place. So I'll include a link to that. Now the next thing...
Ok, se incluye un link para eso. Vamos a ver, aquí está Modified Sprite. Vamos a bajarlo. Ahí está. Descarguémoslo. Ok, downloads, modified. No, aquí nada más Unity. Yo estoy en el Arts, así. Solamente vamos a estar. Y aquí estamos. Muerto pene.
Thing I want to do is let's set up that sprite sheet. So I have it highlighted here in my art folder. I'm going to change it from single to multiple. I'm going to make the filter mode point no filter, and then to keep the pixels nice, because this is only 16 kilobytes, there's nothing to worry about. I'm going to take my compression to none, so that I'm not applying any kind of compression to it. Everything's going to look like it is. I'm going to apply those changes, and let's go to the sprite editor. From here, I'm going to hit slice, and instead of using automatic, because automatic would just go around here, which would make these kind of weird cutoffs, like you would look like he's bouncing back and forth. We're going to go to grid by cell size, and these cells are 32 by 32. And then from there, we'll just slice it up, and you'll see that we have a good 16 animation frames. So I'm going to apply this. And once that's applied, I can exit out. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make those 4 animation frames. So for ease of seeing the player, I'm going to move my camera over a little bit. I'm going up to Window to grab Animation. And I'm going to dock that right down here so that I can both see my animation window and my player.
Vamos.
And let's click on player so we don't have to worry about that, that camera view. Okay, cool. So the first thing we're going to do is make a new animation. So with the animation window up, I'm going to go to create new clip. And I'm going to create the 4 animations for attacking up, down, left, and right, just like with what we did with both idle and walking. I want to make sure I'm putting these in the animation folder so everything is nice and organized. So I'm going to go to my animations folder, player, and I'm going to name this first one Attack Down.
New clip and assets, animations, player. Attack down. Save.
So attack down. Alright, cool. So if I go over here to my modified, the first 4 frames are the attack down frames. I played with this a little bit, and I liked it when it was a third of a second here to 20. So I'm going to grab the first frame and pull it over to 0. And then I'm going to go to one of these little steps over, grab the next frame, place that there. Another little step over, grab the next.
Ok, ahora aquí vamos a ponerlo en one column layout. Voy a poner animations. No, sería art. Modified, aquí está. Entonces, este maestro viene, el primero, el segundo, uy, sí somos chiquitos.
Next frame, place that there. Oh, haha, one thing I forgot to do. We'll fix that in just a second. We got our teeny tiny little player. I'm going to grab the 4th frame, put it there. And if I just leave it this way, it's going to look like it's just barely showing that 4th frame, so it's only going to be there for just a fraction of a second. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight that key. I'm going to Command C to copy. Yeah, and then I want to go over just
creo otro más arriba.
little bit, and Command V to paste. So the reason our character is so teeny tiny is I forgot to modify the pixels per unit. We still want this at 16, which is what we had it for the other set. And then we're going to hit apply.
Oh, interesante. Ok. Entonces console, no. Aquí. 16. Apply. Ahí está.
Okay, cool. So now we can kind of scrub through our animation, and that's what it looks like if we're attacking down. See, it's so short. Like if there's a character right here, they'd be missed. So I'm probably going to modify it again, but like I said, for now, we're just getting the structure done. If I hit play, you can see how fast it is. And that's pretty good. All right, cool. So now I'm going to do the same thing for right, left, and up. And since it's something you've seen me do before, I'm probably going to fast forward that. So let's go.
Ok, entonces, hacer fast forward de que hagamos también nosotros ahorita. Ok, entonces, ahora vamos a agregar aquí un clip. Attack, up, save. Entonces vamos a buscar después de up. Ahí está justamente. El 4, 5, 6, 7. Vamos a el 4, 4, 5. Uy. Barras aquí. 4, 5, 6, 7. Entonces vamos a ganar 7. Ahí está. Ok. Ahora el 8 que es right. Entonces vamos a ir con the right. Create a clip. Save. Entonces chicos, salvamos. Vamos a empezar con el sprite 8. 8, 9. Ahora 9. Por eso empezamos a dudar. Este es el 8. 9. Pero 9. 10. 11. Falta agregar el último ahí. Y create a clip. Tap left. Save. Y vamos a ir a agarrar 12, 13, 14. 12, 13, 14. 12, 13, 14, 15. Estamos pues.
So we got our 4 animations for our attacks. So the next thing that we're going to do is create ourselves another little blend tree. We created a blend tree last time when we made our idle states and our walking states. So we're going to use the same technique to make an attack state for our player. So with the player highlighted, you'll see that we have these new...
Vamos a borrarlos. Animator, aquí estamos.
Animations added. We don't need them there right now, so we can just delete them. And then from here, I'm going to move this any state marker down because I'm going to be using that in just a second. So I'm going to right click, I'm going to create a state from a new blend tree, move it right about there, and I want to call this one attack.
Create state, new blend tree. Aquí.
Tree. Well, I guess I can just call it attacking to go with the theme I've already set up. There we go. And I'm going to make a connection from any state to attacking, and then from attacking back to idle. So I want to be able to go into the attack animation from either the idle or walking or any other state we might add by pressing the attack button. And then I want to be able to go from attacking to idle, even if it's just for like a frame that I'm in idle, and then from idle I can go back to walking. So I'm going to make a new parameter here. So I'm going to click plus to make a new one. This is going to be a bool. Nope, not a trigger. Not what I meant to do. Okay, never mind. So I'm just going to create a bool. I'm going to call this attack. Delete that trigger. All right, cool. So I'm going to go from any state into attacking. I'm going to highlight the blue thready thing that goes to it. And I want to go there if attacking is true. And I don't want an exit time. I want to go directly into attacking. So now let's set up this blend tree. So double click on attacking, and we have our new blend tree. Directly into attacking. Directly into attacking. I'm going to highlight the blue thready thing that goes to it. And I want to go there if attacking is true. And I don't want an exit time. I want to go directly into attacking. So now let's set up this blend tree. So double click on attacking. And we have our new blend tree. I want to highlight the blend tree, and I want to set this up as 2D simple directional. My two parameters are still going to be move X and move Y.
¿Cuánto quedamos ya? 18 minutos. Vamos por la mitad.
From here, I'm going to add a new motion field. In this motion field, let's start with attack down.
Add motion field.
a new motion field. And this motion field, let's start with attack down. So I just use that circle selector here, and then you can choose any animation. So we'll be attacking down when x is 0 and y is -1. And then I'll add another new motion field. This is for attack left.
Right. Ok, para atacar left, si x está en -1 y está en 0, y attack right si está en 1, y 0, y attack up 0 y 1.
And if it's left, x is -1 and y is 0. We'll add another motion field. This is going to be for right. And we're attacking right when x is 1 and y is 0. And one more motion field. And this is going to be for attack up. And that's when x is 0 and y is 1. Okay, cool. So that should be fine. Let's go back to our base layer. So we're going from any state to attacking, if attacking is true. And then we're going to go from attacking to idle. Cool. All right. So let's take a look at our script. So I want to take a look at our player script, which is where we were doing all of the animation control before. So I'm going to open up the player movement script here. Okay, cool. So I don't need to make any new references, but I am going to change the way things are done in the update method just slightly. In the update method right now, we set the change vector to 0, and then we set change.x to be whatever the horizontal is, change.y to be whatever the vertical is. I want to be able to reference an attack button, but I want to be able to do it in a really, really easy way. So I could do if input dot get key down key code dot, whatever, or I could do if input dot get, I think it's like joypad button down, and then list whatever joypad, or I could use mouse keys, or I could define all three of those to be one thing. And the way that you can do it in Unity, and I was going to do this last time, but then I got lazy, so I'm going to go back to Unity here really quickly. I want to go to the Edit menu, Project Settings, and then I want to look at the Input Settings. That brings up the Input Manager and the Inspector over here. And by default, it's collapsed if you haven't done anything with it. I'm going to expand it.
Se fue a... ¿Dónde que fue? Object. Oh. Input Manager. Input Manager. Wow, creo que tengo que haber visto otra vez porque perdí. Está Edit, Graphic Simulation. Graphics. Y ya está. Se puede hacer escena. scene. Okay.
Project settings, and then I want
Project settings. Okay. Input. Access.
I want to look at the input settings. That brings up the input manager and the inspector over here. And by default, it's collapsed if you haven't done anything with it. I'm going to expand it. And these are all of the input settings. So right now, we have horizontal and vertical listed twice. So anything that's in horizontal is the left and right keys or A and D keys, but also, it also refers to the joystick axis. So we already have a game that works with the joypad, so we might as well continue that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a new one. I'm going to change my size from 18 to 19, and that creates a duplicate of the last one in the array. So I'm going to open that up. I'm going to change it from cancel to just lowercase a attack. And for my positive button, I'm going to have that be, let's do space. And then the alternative positive button, joystick button 1, I'm going to change that to joystick button 0. That's the A button. And I don't need to worry about any of the rest of this for the moment.
Put a space.
Yeah, I'm fine with it being a key or a mouse button. And yeah, that's good. So that's our attack. We just need to remember quotations attack. So if we go back into our script here, I'm going to add another if statement. So I'm going to say if input
What the hell?
for looking at our scene. Yeah, I'm fine with it being a key or a mouse button. And yeah, that's good. So that's our attack. We just need to remember quotations attack. So if we go back into our script here, I'm going to add another if statement. So I'm going to say if input dot get button down because I only want to register it once the very first frame is pressed. And the button I want to get is attack. And I also only want to attack if we're not currently in the attack state. So we have our little enum of our player states. We got walk, attack, interact. And I should have used that interact state last.
Ok, ese video no lo vi, que tenía esas enumeraciones ahí. Vamos hasta aquí entonces. Public player state. Creo que fue un video que probablemente no vi. Que puedo tocar para atrás.
Last time, but yeah, whatever. We'll fix it. We'll get there. Okay, cool.
Type current state equal to player state. Update animation.
So if I put that get button down, attack, then I want to attack. And I also only want to attack if we're not currently in the attack. State. So we have our little enum of our player states. We got walk, attack, interact. And I should have used that interact state last time, but yeah, whatever. We'll fix it. We'll get there. Okay, cool. So if input that get button down, attack, then I want to also check and current state is not equal to player state dot attack. So if we're not already attacking, then I'm going to start a little coroutine here. So here's what the coroutine is going to do. A coroutine, if I haven't covered them before, is a method that allows you to pass in values for it to wait, kind of just off to the side. It runs in parallel to the main process, and it allows you to build in specific delays. So I'm going to make a private enumerator, and I'm going to call this attack co. And up here, if we're pressing the attack key and we're not currently attacking, then I'm going to start the attack coroutine. So we're going to say start coroutine attack co. All right, cool. So what I want to do in the attack coroutine is I want to set the attacking bool to be true, and I also want to move our current state to attack. So I'm going to say animator.set bool attack. No, is it attack or attacking? I think I did attacking with the bool. I want to set that to be true. Let me make sure I used attacking for my parameter in the animator. Yep, I called it attacking. So there we go. So we're going to set attacking to be true, and we're going to put our current state to be attack. So we're going to say current state is equal to player state dot attack. All right, so we're good there. Next, we want to put in a really small delay. So we're going to do yield return, and we want it to wait just 1 frame. So it's going to be yield return null. So we're going to wait 1 frame. And then we're going to set attacking to false so that we don't go automatically back into that attack animation. Because since I used it from any state, it can go into there from even its own state. So I'm going to say animator dot set bool attacking to be false. Okay, and then I'm going to wait another little bit. My animation is 1/3 of a second, so I'm going to do yield return wait 4 seconds. Oh, good lord. Yield return new wait for seconds, and it's 1/3 of a second, so I'm going to put 0.33 and F because it's float. And then after that small wait, I'm going to reset our state. So current state is equal to player state dot walk. And that's almost all we have to do in here. Now, I want these two to be independent of one another, or not independent, dependent on one another. So I only want to go into current state player state dot walk if I didn't go into the first one. So I'm going to make this an else if. So I'm going to save my script. Should be okay, but let's see. It's incredibly possible I broke everything. So let's find out. All right, cool. So Unity's thinking down there, and I'm going to hit play. My attack button is my space key, so okay, so I got like a double swipe there. So let's find out what that is. So if I take my animator here, you can use your animator to look to see what state you're in. See how it says we're in idle right now? So I want to try. So sometimes it's going in once, sometimes it's going in twice. I think that might be my delay. Instead of doing 0.33, I'm just going to do it as like a solid 0.3. That might be why. If that's not it, I know a couple of other reasons it might be it. So let's hit play again. Let's try this out. Okay, there we go. Oh, did it again. All right, but one thing it is causing, that's kind of important for like the Legend of Zelda stuff, is when you walk and you swing your sword, it stops you. So you can't just walk and keep swinging and keep walking. It halts you in place, and that's what that else if is in there for. So we're not calling our change that frame. Now, let's take a look at a few things in the animator here, just to make our life a little bit easier. So for our transition from here to here, we have no exit time. We don't want it to be a fixed duration. We're going to go in when attacking is true. From here to here, we are going to, so it's blending these states together. It's blending the attack state and the idle state, and while it's doing that, it's making another, you can kind of see how it's making another attack state there. I want to shorten this so that it's completely gone. So I just grab those two little blue handle bobbies and pull them together. And let's try it now. So if I walk, cool, I'm not getting that weird double swipe. So again, like I said, it's still a really, really short attack animation, so I might work on this a bit more and make that sword look a little bit bigger. One of the things that so the artist that made this, I don't want to say anything bad about them. The artist that made this is incredibly talented, and I have their link in every single video. They're super good, but the one thing that really bugs me in video games is when people make weapons proportional to the character's body. Like, that's just, to me, that's just silly. Like, our characters, like, look at our character. Like, their head is half their body. The sword shouldn't be in proportion to everything else. The sword should be oversized and gigantic and awesome. That's just my thought. You guys can disagree. So, there we go. We got our 4-way attack animation that halts our movement. You can spam it and you can get like a little bit of movement in, but that's really similar to the way that Legend of Zelda works. So, if you have any questions, please feel free to let me know in the description down below. Next time, we're going to talk about using some hitboxes so that you can actually interact with things in the world. So we're going to generate hitboxes when we swipe, depending on which direction we're facing. And then before we bring in an enemy, I actually want to bring in pots, which, again, Legend of Zelda, I want to be able to attack those pots. So, yeah, if you want to, you can follow me on Twitter, where I'm tweet out whenever I post a new video. I'm chatting on Discord a bit more often now, so you can follow me on the or join the Discord server. And even if I'm not there, like, there's some...
Bueno, terminamos este video por hoy. Y nos tomó 40 minutos. Entonces, stop y